Mukesh Ambani, Ratan Tata, Vijay Shekhar. Names that screamed success, right? What if I told you before they were successful, they were actually a failure? And not just small failures. We are talking about 500 crore worth failure. We are talking about complete disasters, public humiliation. So, my name is Mehtab Singh, and today we are going to dive deep into their biggest losses, or let's just say failures they have faced in their life. But let me tell you one thing, they were not just failures, they were their mistake which they overcame and learned from. And in the last, you will all learn a very crazy fact. Let's start with India's richest person, $120 billion worth person. The guy who brought 4G into every corner of India. But in 2006, he made one mistake which was a complete wreck for him. Reliance Fresh, a massive grocery online store. The vision? Transform how India bought fruits and vegetables. Hundreds of stores. Huge investment. The reality? Complete failure. They couldn't compete with the local Kiryanas. Customer didn't want it. Brand shut down. They lost approx 500 crore in the process. But here's what's interesting. We just changed the approach, but the vision remains same. But Ambani wasn't alone on the complete failure. Ratan Tata, he was on different level. Ratan Tata built the Tata Groups into a $400 billion company. But here's where his story gets interesting. Tata made a mistake, which experts still called India's biggest corporate failure. 2007, Tata acquired Cora Steel for $12 billion. 12 billion for a steel company in Europe. The timing? Terrible. The global financial crisis hit. China dumped cheap steel into the market. Chorus went bankrupt. Tata Steel share prices decreased. Tata lost billions. Now here's what wild. Mukesh failure was small. Retail, groceries, within India, local, it's fine. But Tata $12 billion was huge in 2007. But the craziest part, both jumped back right into the game. But the next person, he had nothing when he lost everything. Vijay Shekhar Sharma, today billionaire status. But back then, his failure, he went bankrupt when he had nothing. His own team, his co-founder, left him. But his failure, it was personal, it was humiliating. He was in a hostel when it all happened. 2005, Vijay collected 8 lakh rupees from his personal income to fund his startup. 197 his co-founders, they scammed him, took 40% of his income and vanished. Gone. He couldn't pay rent. He was eating cheapest meal possible, walked kilometers because he couldn't afford transport. But he had a choice, give up or continue. He chose continue. And oh gosh, it was such a worth it. Today, he is a billionaire. When demonetization happened in 2016, Paytm exploded. Today, its worth is $10 billion. The guy who was conned of 8 lakh built a company which is 10,000 times bigger. So, think about this. Mukesh lost 500 crores. Ratan lost 12 billion. Vijay lost 8 lakh. But his bounce back? Actually, it's pretty impressive because sometimes the smallest failure creates the biggest comeback. But let's talk about a person. But what about someone who failed because his timing was off? Or let's say India wasn't ready for his innovation. Dipinder Goyal, Foodlet, the perfect idea, but at wrong time. Dipinder Goyal, Zomato founder, worth billions. But before Zomato, he had Foodlet, a complete disaster. 2005, fresh out of Delhi IIT, he started a company named Foodlet. Online food delivery, partners with restaurants, get their menu online and just simply delivery. He worked on it for 9 months, gave everything. Recent complete failure, total loss. Why? India wasn't ready for online delivery yet. Someone wouldn't order food through a website. The market didn't exist yet. And Foodlet couldn't survive the reality. Dipinder later admitted He started India's first food online delivery platform, which didn't work because timing was off and he was right. But he didn't abandon his pace. He changed the model. He came back with restaurant model, simple menu, food delivery, rating. That's it. It worked. And when he eventually built Zomato, he learned one thing: timing is everything. So now we have seen three failures. Mukesh lost big on local vendors, Ratan lost big in international accusations, Vijay got betrayed personally, and Dipender, he was just early. The next story, that's about someone who copied someone's idea and still failed. Ritesh Agarwal, at 19 years old, dropped out of college, the youngest billionaire in India, but before Oyo, he was a complete failure. 2012, age 17, he started a company which was copied of an American company, Airbnb. Aggregate budget accommodation, let travelers book hotels from his website. Same idea. Despite funding, despite an experienced team, despite everything, it failed. Why? Because India wasn't ready for it. The hotels were a complete mess. He realized India didn't need an Airbnb. India needs standardization. He pivoted completely, renamed it Oyo, changed the entire business model. Instead of just listing, he would contact with hotel, he would standardize them, he would change its rooms and would list them online. The company that started as an Airbnb copy is now world's largest hotel chain company. It has 35,000 hotels. He didn't just bounce back, he completely reinvented the game. So let's just really see what happened here. 5 owners, 5 big losses, but notice the pattern. Mukesh failed on retail, Tata failed on global acquisition, Vijay failed on personal loss and betrayal, Dipender, he was just too early. Ritesh failed because he copied instead of innovation. Same outcome, failure, completely different causes, completely different paths of recovery. All of them came back bigger, stronger, smarter. Here's what nobody tells you about success in India. You see those big billionaires on Forbes, they all came there after failing something. Their failures made them smarter, not broke them, but made them. And here's the truth: your biggest failure will look like nothing in front of their failure. You might fail at something they succeeded at, they succeed at something you might fail at, but the principle stays the same. Failure isn't the end, it's the price. It's the tuition fee you pay to learn the game. If you're working on something and you are seeing it falling apart, well, you are lucky. You are in $1 billion company. The question isn't will I fail? It should be if I fail, what will I do? Because that's what separates people who stay broke and those who build empires. If this video changed how you look at failures, please like and subscribe and wait for the next video. Thank you.